Who has a garden at home? Does anybody have a garden at home? Do any of you have gardens at home? Very good. Do you know our church has a garden? Do you know where our church garden is? It's right outside that window. All along between the sidewalk and the building, there's a lovely garden there. And downtown Cleveland, a lot of the birds come and they find shelter under the leaves of the plants in our garden. They find shade when it's really hot, or if it's raining or windy, they can find shelter in those plants in our garden. Do you know who else lives in our garden in our church? This little guy right here lives right outside that wall in our garden. We put it up there on the big wall so the grown-ups can see who's living in our garden. That's why our property manager, I told him, you got to keep planting more plants because this guy likes to eat our plants. Here's another picture of him you can see. We ought to have a name for our bunny, an Easter one. Hopefully he'll be around for quite some time to come. There's another picture. He's trying to hide. Can you see him trying to hide in the leaves? I was thinking about how the birds and the bunnies find rest and shelter and safety in our garden. In fact, it's been really tricky to get a picture of this little guy because every time we stop and we see him, we want to take a picture, he'll duck under some leaves. He wants to hide. It's a place of safety for the bunny, and it's a place of comfort and shelter just like it is for the birds. Well, did you know that Jesus said that the church should be very much like a garden? That all of us are like a garden. And in the church, those who are most vulnerable in the world, the birds and the bunnies who are people, those who are frightened or maybe lonely, those who are hungry, those who don't have family or friends, or maybe they're even homeless, they need to find welcome and safety in the church. And so we're very much like a garden, aren't we? I hope you can remember that just as that bunny needs a home in our garden, there are a lot of people in this world who need a home in our church.